Today we're going to get some YouTube time, and I'm not sure of how much time I have, so I'm going to get to the point. And for those who come in after the fact, I think this will be saved, so we should be able to go back and tap that replay button. So out the gate, I am Melikia K, Courtney, and today, I don't know, y'all. I woke up on something new, like feeling anew at the same time, saying like connecting to me and me, right? To the bits and pieces of me that's been a bit scattered since COVID, right? Um, and okay, so give me a minute. I do see that someone wants to join me, but give me a minute. So, short story. I noticed that I could reach a bit more of my language box. Y'all know I have a killer vocab, right? And I tend to lead to my specific words and my colorful words quite a bit, right? And I've been having some knocking at the door of my mind with some things that I needed to do and things I needed to say. And some of my language could cause a person to tune out. Let me say it that way. So we're going to do our best to communicate this in a high level way. So let's go. Evil prevails when good men do nothing. I was thinking about it being Black History. If you are still rocking with the Clubhouse, my partner and I, Scott Harrell, we co-founded Partners in Rhyme, and Lyrical Vibes is the room. So Partners in Rhyme is the house, Lyrical Vibes is the room. If you would like to come and participate in the blackout, and the blackout simply is an open mic. It's an opportunity for you to come and bring your pieces about Black love, about Black energy, about living in this skin, about your experience in this beautiful melanated skin. Let me say it like that, right? Love pieces, thought-provoking pieces, whatever it is that your heart is impressed to bring, come through and enjoy the celebration with us. And yeah, it's Black History Month. And yeah, it's a Black life and Black Life Matters and Black love celebration. So if you are able to genuinely come and celebrate with us and you are in the skin of an other, you are welcome. Like, we have a variety of people who pull up. And we don't hate on folks or treat them funny because of the color of their skin. At the same time, today is a respect kind of day. So pull up and show your love for those in your community in this beautiful skin and the fight that we have fought to help improve life for everybody in this piece. You know what I didn't do? I didn't hit D&D. Next time, to the message. When good men do nothing, evil prevail. I have been seeing and hearing about, because I don't do too much news diving. Y'all already know that. I don't have a capacity for foolery, and my prayers are powerful, and I can't be on the angry end of life praying stuff, right? So I do my best to keep my energy where it needs to be peacefully, so that I can do the work that I am here to do. At the same time, I am blind. I've been fortunate enough to not fall into the I will not stop loving a person because of who they voted for. I'm not going to participate in that line of foolery. I'm not. right? I'm going to love whom I love. And my love is not wishy-washy, and my love is not it's not attached to condition. Okay. Two different stories. Never had a conversation right now. Same thing. For those who are among those I love who voted for 47 to help put this evil in office. I sit back in it and I think you reap what you sow, right? America has been sowing angst, evil, discord, family separation, grape, all kind of foolery, this pedophilia, sanctioned criminals in office, immunity for folks who have no morals and no guidepost of or even adherence or alignment with the oath they took to fulfill a duty, right? Did you honestly think that we were not at some point going to be called to the carpet collectively, even those who have literally been warring for the other side, you know what I mean, who have been fighting for the people, who have been working to counter the injustices? Did we think that the chickens was not going to come home to roost? And did we think that we could honestly walk together, sleep? I had these people talking trash about being woke. You have no freaking clue. This is me watching my mouth. You have no freaking clue what being woke means. You've bought into the owners of the media's story of what it means. And of course, life is as life is. It is heavy. It is full of distractions. We must do the things that we must do, right? We have responsibilities. And I respect that. And at the same time, you cannot fall asleep at the wheel driving to work. You can't fall asleep at the wheel dropping your kids off to school. You can't fall asleep at the wheel fighting for your community's advancement when the resources have been gutted, when gentrification is pouring in like unwelcomed water. It's not time for vacation. It's not time to go to sleep again. It's not time to turn your eye or pretend or tell me one more time how you thought he didn't know anything about it, 47, or how you thought he wasn't going to do that. Child, please. Come again. Come again to reality. Come again to honesty. Come again to a time where frivolity and foolery were not the order of the day. Like, come again. It really is time for people to begin to know your team. Okay. Know your team and know who has your back and know who you can rock with closely. I have mastered loving folks in the lane that they belong in. I love you. And my love does not mean that I have to abide your foolery. My love does not mean that I have to overlook or close my eyes and pretend that your choice for an action or your choice to join the popular crowd does not affect me or those I love. Right? There's a thing called accountability. And my heart is to hold folks accountable for those who have the conversation on their tongue and then they hit about how they didn't know. And you're watching the lives of people be destroyed. You're watching it happen in real time, baby. You're watching rights and protections go bye-bye, right? And this is for my folks who are in non-melanated skin. I'm speaking directly to you. This is the time to use your privilege. This is the time to open your mouth. This is the time to go ape and Karen about what's happening. Where are your phone calls to your leaders? Where are your letters? How's your pull-up game? Because it's late in the day. was having a conversation yesterday. Oh, and Governor Pritzker, I appreciate your address, because I literally feel the same way and have been saying the same thing for a minute. This is that moment. This is that moment where people decide. Like, I've been saying this for a minute, even before the election. History repeats itself, right? And when it does, you're once again faced with the opportunity to make a choice. And will you make the same mistake again? Will you choose poorly again? Will you close your eyes? Will you stick your head in the sand? Will you pretend like what is happening is not happening? You have that choice. And if I need to break it down and make it simpler for people to reach, think about your relationships. Somebody who hurt you and did you dirty. Do you go back to that person, someone who you had arrested for heinous crimes and should be in jail for the rest of their absolute life? Do you go back to that person and abide them again? Do you fold them into your vest near your heart again? Because a snake is a snake, no matter if it's hissing or not. Okay, let's take it back up. It is time to get involved. It is time to participate in the marches. It is time to deal with the toddler in the office. It is time to deal with the access of dude who shouldn't have any damn access. It is time to deal with the Seven Mountains group. It is time to deal with that new apostolic, it's like a movement. And these two are your puppet string masters. These two bodies. Oh, JD Vance, Paula White, them. Remember Paula White? When she had her tail up in that church, telling them black people that they had so, that they better, or God ain't with them and they gonna be condemned to go to hell. Guess what, buddy? You got God. You got God. And for every person in melanin, every person of color, let me say it like that, for every person of color, you genius, you brilliant soul, you, who took time to go and vote for your demise, and to vote for your people's demise, and to vote for your elders' demise, and to vote for your neighbor's demise. Tell me you love God again. Tell me how you love the Lord when you didn't even consult the Holy Spirit on it. Tell me about it. Tell me about it again. Tell me about how you making America great again. Tell me when was it great? Was it great when they came to kill off the indigenous people of which we are part of? Was it great then? Was it great during enslavement? Was it great then? Was it great during Jim Crow? Was it great then? Was it great during the fight that we've been fighting every day? Was it great when 8 minutes and 46 seconds, of a knee to Mr. George Floyd's neck? Was it great when Sandra Bland hung in a jail, harassed by an officer should have never been there in the first place? We're watching our words again, right? Tell me when exactly was it great, darling? Improved? Yes. And those improvements were bought with blood, sweat, and tears. And with a stroke of a pen. Where'd it go? Okay, so this is a call to wake up. This is a call to order and to mobilize and to begin having conversations in your circles and finding out what is yours to do, right? Because I do believe more people would be involved. I honestly believe that there's way more of us who love and who see people and who see hearts and who see snakes very clearly. I think there's way more of us. Yes, I do. And I think that us need a mobilizing point, right? Like us needs a point of order, so to speak. Hey, and it's hard to see too with this sun. What's going on? I appreciate you vibing and just tuning in. Like literally, I woke up. I kid you not. The word was on me. The truth was on me, and the message was on me. And happy Friday at the same time. Like I am not. I don't believe in that fear mongering. I don't believe in the doom. Okay, what I do believe is preparing and being able to react appropriately. Am I saying go get arrested? No. Am I saying have your bail money ready? Yeah. Am I saying get active? Yes. And I'm also saying participate and don't close your eyes. So on February 28th, it's a mass movement to not spend a dime, a dollar or a penny, right? On February 28th, you are being called to not participate in this United States economy in any fashion as a stand in solidarity, right? As to push a point and make a message, because we already know the U.S. is about money. It's about the coin, period, right? Or we wouldn't be born commodities, or we wouldn't be, hey, butterfly, see my friend? Or we wouldn't be, she came back. We wouldn't be lost at sea, right? We wouldn't be designated in the fashionable wildlands, so y'all can see my friend hang out. The truth is the truth, right? So think about the life we're living, right? Think about what it takes to actually make America great. We used to have that bring me your poor, bring me your tired. Like, we are a nation of immigrants, people. So how is it magically that suddenly particular immigrants are the devil and evil, and because of social media or a news media outlet say so? Who owns it? Like, this is the wake up call. I'm not kidding. Go do some research. Better research. Not researching your next show, not researching your next sexual encounter, not researching your whatever it is that you use to pacify, right? Now is the time to really get the lead out your booty cheeks. Okay, we're watching our words, right? And really participate in life that is happening right now. This you can do. You can march as you can. There's so much you can. And back to what I was saying about the February 28th, you can choose to divert your dollars to a Black owned business. That is what you can do. Several stores have made it really clear they don't give a dang on about anybody right here that's about this bronze, about this copper. They don't care. And they made it clear by getting rid of the products that serve. Oh, Jesus, get me started. We pro life. Okay. So you only pro life until after birth. And then it don't matter to you no more. Right? And let's talk about why you pro-life. You pro-life because you already know your numbers is numbered. Big boy still, big dog, big control, even if it means destroying what we have collectively built and what was built off the back, folks. We want to do that, right? Ridiculous. Now, how many of us are honestly going to sit by silently let it happen? You responsible too, because it affects you. You think it don't? What you think is going to happen, beautiful? What do you think is going to happen when folks can't live indoors? When folks don't have food, do you honestly think that a martial law or an edict by pen is going to preserve you and your house and your people? It ain't. I'm going to shortcut it to the truth. It's not, because people are already tired. And folks had hope. That hope is rapidly dying, dissolving, disappearing, like the hoax it was. Okay? What do hopeless people do? One would hope that they would lament and sorrow peacefully and quietly. Some will, but guess what the other one's gonna do? Hello, my birds is out, my butterflies are out. This is kind of dope. I'm really enjoying this moment with my cousin on my shoulder over here and on my shirt. Hey, for that matter, I literally wore my Love Fest shirt. For those who did not get to participate in Love Fest, that was February 8th. Happened on the Clubhouse app. We did 24 hours of love. 24 hours, y'all. Intentionally to elevate this vibration of love and help us do better, to see one another, to love one another. Okay? Am I racist? No. Am I prejudiced? No. Am I aware? Yeah. Am I paying attention? Mm-hmm. Are you? Are you? Are you comfortable with letting certain things happen? Are you comfortable with sitting around and participating in ignorant conversations? Are you comfortable with letting your family teach your children how to hate? Have you learned what hate does inside of your body clinically? Ah, and we wonder why so many deficiencies and illnesses. That's another conversation, though. So again, this is a call to order. This is a call to light and life. This is a call to wisdom. This is a call to action. It's time to get active. It's been time to get active. If you have not taken it seriously, if you are one of those people who are sitting back saying, oh, this will work itself out. No, that's what you're for. You are here to literally work this out. This is your job. Loved how the beautiful, incredible brilliance Mrs. Michelle Obama said it. This is that time. Okay? If you're black, it's your black job. If you're white, it's your white job. And I love that we talk in colors or crayons. Let's go there. Hey, buddy, still there. We can do better. We can do it better with languaging. We can do better. I feel that. Like we have the opportunity to make it go right. Make it go the way that we deem righteous. Right? And is it for those who cling to the Bible, what did the word say? How you treat strangers. What did the word say? How you treat orphans, how you treat elderly. What did the word say? It didn't say what color they were, right? It didn't say it was okay to treat people like trash if they don't look like you. It did not say that it was okay to manipulate and change the word to fit and beat the people with it and grape and rob the people's pockets. It didn't say that. How many charlatans do it? And we participate. Stop participating in the foolery. Do better. Choose better. That is something we can do. We don't have to lay down and take it. We don't have to live afraid. We ain't gonna do that. We can be brave. We can be brave. We can be bold. Touch this reality. Start speaking out. Partner up. Love on our people. Please do not let the news and foolery divide you from those who love you and those you love. Hold on to them. Cling to those people. Have your conversations. Understand one another. You may not see 100% eye to eye, and that's okay. That's okay. But prayerfully, you can agree that people deserve to live indoors and that folks deserve to eat in this rich nation. They could truly solve a whole lot of stuff, but just chooses not to. Mm-hmm. Okay, find where you can meet. Kick off some conversations. Grab your phone, go live and talk about it. Get with your neighbors. Get with your community. Get with your business communities. Make a little noise. Make a little noise. Stand up. Stand up and open up your throat. I love that song. Let them words come out. Say what you need to say. Do not sit silently in your workplaces. Do not sit silently as you go to and from school. Do not sit silently and let us find ourselves back in a position of apartheid or enslavement or worse. Let's not do that. Let's collectively decide to not do that. Okay? That we can do. I believe Governor said it was 1 month and maybe 8 to 13 days that it took Hitler to deconstruct them rights and institute insanity. And also, good Lord, the other day, partner said, how does God say it? The pessimists, and this is concerning the Holocaust, the pessimists went to America, the optimists went to the camps. When he said that, my whole soul sat still for a minute, like it was a jarring It's a jarring statement. It was a quote, jarring statement. But would you like to swing from that star? Like, seriously. And this is again, hello, baby, to my shoe this time, right? Now we're going to play on the shoes. Bye, bye. Would you like to enjoy a world, a nation, where it is a crime to be born biracial? Shout out to Trevor Noah. Beautiful book. 2 times through it. Gonna go to the third because it's just such a rich and beautiful story, and it's true. And let's talk about the Elon character who is from South Africa, who has a heart to oppress and means, thanks to our government, high means. Would you like to live there? Would you like to live in a world where people can love who they choose to love? Is that your business? Should you be in someone's bedroom dictating what they do? Because you damn sure don't want, that's my one cuss word, don't want anybody in your bedroom telling you what to do with who you love, but you want to mind their business. Do you want to live in a world where a 10-year-old, and this is true news, where a 10-year-old who was raped and impregnated was denied a Smith Mortion by her home state, had to travel to another state. And I believe that beautiful woman who helped her, her name is Lauren. I think it's Lauren. And if this live stays after, maybe I'll find her name and just tap it in there. Because can you imagine a 10-year-old being forced to carry to term and give birth to a baby? She's a baby who did nothing wrong. And they find the doctor. And she protected the family. She did not give up names, thank God. But how many women have been thrown in jail since the overturning? And there's a death penalty. I ain't even seen a death penalty for the perverts who are out raping and molesting. But there's a death penalty for a woman seeking to preserve her own life or a child's life. Would you like to live there? Would you like to live in a place where children are thrown into cages, stripped from their families, never to return, some red rummed, others raped and sold at the hands of our government on U.S. soil? True story. So think about the world that you'd like to participate in. You know, I am, I love vibration. I love positivity. I love creating, right? The imagination is a wonderful place to play. And in my imagination, I imagine wonderful things and I create amazing things and I bring them to life. What would you like to bring to life concerning the world you live in and that you're passing to your children and your children's children? I'm a Gigi. Excuse me. I consider this and I ask you to consider it as well. Consider it. Yeah. So those are kind of the thoughts that were keeping me company, and I thought I would come and share. And between the butterflies and the little bitty tiny bugs that are coming to hang out, and the seeds from the trees, I'm feeling very natured. I'm feeling very natured, and let me see how this works, because I don't know. Let me see. Let me see. No, I don't quite. This is my first time playing on YouTube Live, y'all, and I don't know all the buttons and such like that yet. I'm going to learn them. Nope. Okay, let's see. Do, do, do. Oh, maybe this was that. So I'm sending an invite link. I don't know how that'll work. We'll see if he is able to join me and maybe talk a little bit about that quote itself, and then like how are you guys feeling? I wonder. And you know what I also wonder? I wonder how the blonde haired blue eyed folk during the Holocaust, how did they feel? I wonder about I'm just gonna say the pale skin, our our counterparts, our sisters, our brothers, like we are humans, right? So the pink are humans. I wonder how they felt during this, especially the women. Oh, there we go. Add. Okay. that they have. Hey,
Hey, partner. Do
how
you
are
hear me
you?
well?
I
I'm
can hear you
well.
very well. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very
Okay,
well.
give me 1 second. Let's just stop. I wonder how well they felt watching the men of that day wreak havoc on the world. Like, were they proud to stand beside murderers? Were they proud to stand beside oppressors? Were they proud to stand and live beside the men who crept into the bedrooms of unprotected to do their dirt and cause children as a result of it too? Like, I wonder, did the women of that day, how silent were they? How silent were your ancestors? While mine were dealing with what they was dealing with on account of y'all. You know, that those things make me wonder. And how silent are you now? Like, white women, you have played a key role in where we are today. And for those who are active and open in their mouths and raining havoc, I salute you and I embrace you. Keep it loud, right? But for those who are sitting silently by, supporting trash and hot garbage and the oppression of women who are women just like you, pitiful, shameful, ridiculous. I can't embrace that. I won't. I will love you because that is who I am. But I will not embrace you. So let me welcome, what's going on? Hey, Scott Carroll,
Hey,
who I
Melikia,
know by
Courtney.
several other names. And the mischief in me is like, say it, but I'm not gonna. the like literally had a sobering conversation today. Like I woke up and it was just on me to come and to speak out and to talk about oh okay, and to speak about what is happening in the world today. Like a lot of things are happening. It feels like the Shed Aquarium right quick. There's always something happening in Chicago Shed Aquarium. That dates me a little bit, but that's how the world feels every day. I'm waking up to something new. When I don't newsmonger, you know that.
Right.
But some things get to me, and I believe it's the Spirit of the Lord. Just be like, hey, listen, you need to know this. You need to pray about this. You need to say something about this. You need to do something about this. So my hands are in the water, and I am working. I am making strides and efforts to raise awareness and to create spaces where love can come about, where we can literally come together, regardless of your color or gender or orientation, and
Mm-hmm.
love one another and see one another finally, right? Because I feel like it's gotten so divided. I swear, visually, how about my battery said no to me? I charge
the
this thing, so
conversation was getting good too.
bruh. So I can see those. I can spiritually see the clear plasticky type walls that are sliding in as dividers to divide the people. And I'm gonna be quiet now since my battery just warned me. I'm gonna hear from you so we can get out of here because clearly I might be on battery punishment.
Oh
What are
my
your thoughts? What
goodness.
are you feeling?
You know, now, first of all, thank you for inviting me and for having such a great discussion and doing the thing that I think a lot of people who are living in a place right now of shock and awe.
Hmm.
There's so much going on that it can be that analysis paralysis. What do you do? How do you respond? And the first thing, as exampled by you, is speak up, speak out. Say what's on your mind, say how you're feeling, so that people realize they're not alone in this. Because many are probably feeling the exact same thing. You, as an individual coach who have helped many people through many traumatic experiences, I'm
Hmm.
sure you have dealt with people realizing, oh, I thought I was the only one who felt like this until I
I
opened my
have.
mouth. Well, right now, I think America and the world is
Hmm.
going through that level of trauma. Now, to your
Yes.
point, I am now, unlike you, I am someone who does follow the news deeply, regularly. I'm someone who consumes it from an array of sources, And I'm okay with that. I've always been
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
And I don't
I'm
judge
used
people who
to.
don't. I don't judge
No.
people who consume it more than me. I
Mm.
do, if you're letting the news lead you by the nose, that's one thing. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but if you're staying informed, so you know about the world around you, and that's the position that I take, okay. For me, from everything that I have seen,
Mm-hmm.
my level of concern is extraordinarily high, and
Mm.
I feel as if we are at and arriving at a point where the response has to be commensurate and more than just what is happening. It is not enough to talk amongst friends. It's not enough to
Mm-mm.
expect politicians of one stripe or another to,
Swear.
push
Who
back
say
the
that out
tide.
loud?
It is not enough. The marches, the protests, even, while they have their place, I think those are even not enough of a response. And I want to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not advocating
Oops.
for violence, but when I
Right.
speak about radical reaction and response, I point back to such things as when Martin Luther King and his coalition did the bus boycott, and that went on for a long time. Now,
I'm thinking he had a phone call. One moment, please.
hello, hello, do you hear me?
Yes, I can still hear you.
Okay, I have no idea why my camera dropped out, but okay. Yes, and a call did come up. I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep talking, and we'll see if the camera decides to cooperate or not. But um, the bus boycott, that was a radical and different approach as opposed to marches and as opposed to shouting and protesting the way that normally has been done. That was leveraging power that they had, that obviously others didn't realize. We need to do things that are beyond the norm, leveraging the power that we have, the dollar, the everything, because it doesn't just have to be economic boycotts, but our presence, our very, person. Imagine what would happen if there was a national strike. Imagine if everybody didn't show up. Okay.
That part. Like
All
I can
right.
I can fool if you want to. Show
Okay.
me that type of solidarity. Like everybody just push pause for a day and
You
see what
know,
occurs. Like
and
enough.
but
That's how
here,
you stand again. But go ahead.
but here's the thing about it. And it's not in any way critical of what you're saying, but it's commensurate to the time. Sometimes we think about it in a day. Don't forget that bus boycott went on for over a year. And the only way it went on for over a year is because families, people, communities came together and carpool. Even and during that time they were even getting pulled over and everything, and people walked together, people were commuting, their commute turned into hours because of it, but they pulled together and did it. Imagine what would happen if we, the people, the people showed up and showed out as far as what that meant, you know because it's thing I am seeing things that are extraordinarily concerning as to what direction our nation, our government, and things are taking. And I feel as if lives are at risk. And I'm not trying to be overly melodramatic, but I'm going to put it this way. I feel this dates back to well before the second time election of this particular individual. because once you have put things in place where
This
you have
particular individual, I really
this,
appreciate you using that language. Thank you very much.
not a problem. You know me, I try and be diplomatic. Even though part of diplomacy can be considered war, but we'll leave that for right now. Um, this particular individual coming into office for the second time, how the roadmap was laid for years and decades for the overturn of abortion and what that meant. Now, why do I point to that?
Exactly.
The reason why I point to that, and I feel it's so important and critical, and now because of everything else going on in the news, you don't hear about it anymore. But once you successfully take legal control over someone else's body in any capacity, what
Gonna call it
else
what it is.
what else can you do
Call
right
it what it
now?
is.
Right now, Melikia, you legally cannot,
Yep.
simply because you're a woman, have an abortion in several states in this nation. Okay,
Facts.
and I don't know if you're aware of this, but it was only about 2.5 weeks ago. The governor of New York had an arrest warrant sent to her from Louisiana for a doctor that
Oh
performed
yeah.
an abortion in New York, because it's still legal in New York, on a woman that fled there to have that abortion from Louisiana.
Yeah, because ain't nobody playing these
Uh,
games. Like people gonna find a
uh,
way,
right.
and all it's gonna do is go back to you remember them coat hanger situations that we used to hear about.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now we're having, the government has more and more control over physical autonomy of a certain slice of society, and
Hmm.
now they're widening that slice.
Oh, that's
What
all,
more?
dude. Did you
What more can it? How far can it go? And then it goes back to that quote.
slavery?
Exactly, it goes back to that quote that you were talking about before that I gave you about
Hmm.
the optimists and the pessimists.
That blew my mind. And tell the people about that again. And that blew my mind. I sat there like, all of the damn.
I want to
That's
get
two
this.
potty words. I'm doing good. Only two potty words. I'm
I'm
doing
so
great.
proud of you. I'm so
Thank you.
proud of you.
Yay. I'm proud of me too.
Um,
Get my face kind of cold.
um, I was sitting down to look up the source of it, but I'm talking and distracted. But I heard this quote. I do know it exists. It may have come from either Schindler's List or a similar movie, but it was speaking to the Holocaust, and a Jewish individual was speaking about um, the thoughts of the day and what was said as far as when there were discussions about what to do. And they said pessimists went to America, or New York, if you would, because that's where they would come into Ellis Island and everything. The optimists went to the camps, because these were the people who hoped and believed and thought. And there are a lot of people who are optimists. Right, you're muted, by the way. I don't hear you.
I said I love the heart of the optimist. So I'm not trying to shoot and kill the heart and the joy and the peace and the love of the optimist. That is not my heart. But it is also not my heart to watch them just sit there and be asleep and be among the people who said I didn't know. Because damn it, right now you know. That's three curse words. I'm doing great. Go
Well,
ahead.
we'll start putting out the change jar in a minute, but I
Okay.
think there is
When I
something
get
to
to
be
five. When I get to five.
I think there's something to be said for shooting the heart of the optimist, because it's not enough to be optimistic.
No.
The reality of it is hope.
Let me put my hoodie
D-
on right quick. But I'm here. Go ahead.
hope
I'm listening.
hope does not inherently bring change. We could go all the way back to the Bible and say faith without works is dead. Simply hoping that it doesn't happen to you makes you complicit in what happens to everybody else.
Say that shit. I mean, whoops, potty word number four.
Change jar.
Well,
Um,
here's the thing. I'm gonna give myself the grace because I said one word three times, so that's only one time it was one.
mm.
You go ahead. I mean, it's the truth. Like, ooh,
But if
ooh.
you live in a state of, if you live in a state, not a one of the 50 states, but if you live in a personal state of hoping whatever
Oh,
is going on does not happen to you, which makes everything else okay,
right.
that makes you complicit in what is happening to everyone else around you.
Team, you not innocent.
Exactly.
Oh, did I just,
Exactly.
oops, that was air.
You know, I
Yeah,
mean, you may not have burnt down the building, but if you supplied the gasoline, you are still a problem. You
I
know,
do.
you can sit there all you want and say, I didn't know that he was going to do this, or I didn't know it was going to be like this. And
Yeah, you did.
the unique thing, and here's a lot of people get very upset, and I really don't care, but a lot of people get very upset when you compare this administration with the Nazi regime, right? Here's a
But
similarity,
why?
but here's a similarity that I want to point out that a lot of people aren't. There are people both in Germany back then and here who screamed, but we didn't know, we didn't know, we didn't know, right? But pay attention to this. Mein Kampf was written before and published before, right? With his intent. 2025 was published before, and it was shown. Not I'm not just talking about conservative, I'm not just talking about by Republicans. The Democrats got a hold of it, liberals got a hold of it, everybody got a hold of it and said, hey, read this. This
And
is
this is
what
the
they plan
problem.
on doing. Just so you know. Oh, he's not gonna really do all of
Oh
that.
yeah, I do. This and worse, and and here's the thing. This is the caution. Wait, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Because you're gonna hear the whole world too. I just put my phone up and oh, I did the switch. So so I got that second warning, like my
Where
battery. Dare you?
you may want to go throw it on a charger before
I
I'm
did put it on
hosting
the
this
charger,
by
but you know
myself.
what I didn't do? I didn't put the switch. My
And I don't even know where my camera is right now, so
I
there's
don't know
that.
what's going on with your camera, Brown. But people sat there with it like it was the news. Like we have been trained to hear the news, and there's nothing you can do. Is the secondary speech? You know, that's the silent speech of the news. This is what's happening, and it's happening to you, and it's happening around you, but there's nothing you can do about it. Is what some would like some to believe. I'll say it that way.
Mm.
Go ahead.
You know, it's there's an amazing level of absolution that people want to attribute to themselves, saying, oh, I didn't really believe, as if all of that is okay. At the end of the day, yes, we all need to get in and do the work right now, but part of that work, part of that work, in my opinion, is not just about externally what we have to do to save our country and save our lives, but also internally, what made it okay for you to vote for that. And understand we can all have differing points of view, differing points of perspective, and different principles and values and such. And yes, but when we start coming to a place where we're willing to put our lot in with those who are willing to do harm to others, what about ourselves? Who is willing to really do the inner work and find out what about themselves they need to fix that doesn't align them with people that in the bright of day they want to say, oh well, I'm not like them. you know I like him for his economic policy, but I'm not, standing so close to the white power type stuff. All of that's a package. It's all a package.
Gang, gang, please say that. And
You
it's why
know,
like,
if someone puts oh,
that's what it feels
you're
like.
you're breaking up. Say that again. I'm sorry.
It's like I'm gonna put my toe in the water. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it comes across. Well, I'm just gonna put my feet in. You are still in the water. Oh, I just want to
Exactly.
touch it. You are still in the water, and you are still responsible for whatever gets on your hand while you or your feet while you're in the water playing. And oh man, My tongue is on pause. There's so many wonderful ways I would put it.
Change jar.
I ain't say it,
it,
and it's a. We can do better. That is the point of the conversation. We can do better. We can do better. We are here now. Like I heard somebody put it like that. That was like, you ain't never lied. We are literally here now, and this is the platform, and this is the space, and this is the moment for you to build and do. Like now, you this is that.
mm-hmm. And I want to be very clear. Go, do you hear me? I'm sorry.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to be very clear, and I think I can say this for both of us. This is not a platform where we're trying to represent or defend liberals, Democrats, or anything like that either. I think, the entirety of the government and as it's represented, all of them can do a wildly better job than they are doing. However, in the situation that we are presently in right now, where we are, as you said, we here now, there are there are massive, massive issues that need to be addressed and massive questions as to what brought us here. You know, um,
I think we have massive answers on that already. Like sleeping at the wheel. I do believe we and playing beep and getting beeped. That's what got us here. Okay, and playing with snakes, whether they come hissing or not. That's what we've been doing. We've been playing with snakes and allowing. A lot of this happened from allowing. We allowed our power to be transferred to those we entrusted with elected and appointed offices. Nope. See what I mean?
I
Nope.
do.
We are, and personally, I feel like we are collectively responsible. We are collectively responsible. I realize one of us, every American citizen, bears the responsibility and outcome of what happens. Because for those of us who did do our black job and go vote, okay, and vote for life and humanity and safety and rights and the raggedy constitution that we did do have in place, you know what I mean? For the fight and the wins that already existed. We stood for that. Same time, is that the only thing that we did? You know what I mean? Because some of us were content to literally just think that casting a vote was enough. Because it's part of it, it's part of the work. So I'm proud of folks who really took it to heart and got up and went out and voted. And then I also understand that some people were disheartened. Some people expected things to go a lot different when Barack was in office, or to be improved. Like I really had hoped that Biden and the Harris ticket that they had come in and they had used the power to pan through. However, civil people and respectful people and people who are working for change and quietly working to implement. I get that too. And America was tired. Like we were exhausted from dealing with dude. That's 45. So and COVID and all the deaths, like we have been traumatized. We are in a state of grief as a country. You know what I mean?
and that
So
hasn't even been grieved,
sorry.
and that hasn't even been fully grieved.
Man, like we are still in grief. We are still grieving. We're still grieving our losses. We're still grieving our dead. We're still grieving the loss of humanity. We're still grieving from Mr. Floyd. We're still grieving from Bastille. Listen, Floyd, Glenn, Trayvon Martin. Like all these fast faces are just flashing like boom, 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 boom in my head. So I can't go as fast. But y'all know. You know what I mean? Like, and if you don't know, it's because you chose not to. And that's the point. You chose to not participate. You chose to not pay attention to that. You chose to not know. And here's what when you were saying earlier, this what got to me too. This is true. The silent going along, like it came back, like the silent going along with brought about the effectiveness of the Holocaust. The
Hmm.
silent going along with brought the effectiveness of stealing people and stealing people's land and evil. Like I swear, there's some things that come to mind that I won't say, but it's just like, dear Lord, and demifying folk. Like, really though? And then want to say how people of color are not civilized. If doing that and becoming like that makes one civilized, I'll have none of it. None.
So,
So go ahead.
so since you brought up Barack Obama, um, I would, I would, if you would give me the opportunity, I would love to share what I think is the crux that is behind all of this, in my
Oh,
opinion.
go ahead, say it, because I feel the same freaking way. Just about probably. Go ahead.
Okay. So, people can look this up for whatever they want, look for evidence, look for proof. Fine. I have no problem being fact checked. I really don't. Unlike some during a presidential and vice presidential debate, I'll leave that alone. Um, I would first like to remind everyone that about the 13th Amendment. Why is that important? Because the 13th Amendment is the amendment that is utilized to identify citizenship in America. It is what has been extended to this one, that one, this section of society, that one, all these different things. Why do I point that out? Um, why do I point that out? Because there is only one section of society that has never had to have been written in to the Constitution,
Because they was writing it, Jill.
and that is white men. Now,
Because
why am I pointing that out? Okay, and my phone just gave me the warning, so I'm going to switch over to charger too.
this is
Do you-
supposed to be a quick conversation. What happened, Lord? Go ahead.
Okay, so why am I pointing that out? So prior to the election of Barack Obama, statistics, okay, and that's where I believe it's every 10 years. Every 10 years, um, there is the count that's done to find out, the growth of society, the numbers of people, the this, the that, all the things. And what it showed, and what all the statistics leading up to that showed, is that we were close to arriving to the first time where white men were about to be a minority, comparatively speaking, to colored society. You know, black, Latino, everything else. Shortly thereafter, Barack Obama was elected. Now, if you remember, prior to Barack Obama being elected, there were certain things called gerrymandering, where there were there were multiple lawsuits going all the way up to the Supreme Court, where different districts were trying to consolidate power to ensure that one side or another was going to be able to continue to keep being elected without allowing it to be fair to the electorate. Oh, you have this many black people, but we're going to put them all in one voting district and only give them one representative. Or we're not going to do this or do that. Similar to redlining economically, but doing it in a
Yeah.
political way.
Same
Now,
game, same tricks. Ain't
right.
showed.
Now, why am I pointing all of this out? Despite all of the gerrymandering, despite all of that, Barack Obama got elected not once but twice.
In a
And,
row. Gang. And was effective. And was effective. And at the same time,
and
was impeded by who, once again,
well, absolutely, and got and,
men on their trash and some to the delirious women who say a woman can't lead. Speak for yourself, because all you're doing is projecting. Ridiculous. But go ahead.
so that happened. And in my opinion, but people can fact check it and such, because they'll point to the dinner where Barack Obama made fun of Trump, and that's why he chose to get in the election and everything else. Yeah, but there's more behind it. Why? Because white men in power got to see what it looked like without them in power, and we're now
Fear creeped
willing,
up their booty.
huh?
That's the fear creeped up their booty hole. Got tighter, 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 tighter. And
And
I
now
was
we're willing to
fortunate,
do
afraid.
and now we're willing to do anything and throw their lot in with anyone that was able to change that. And once they came into power, to start making the changes that would consolidate their power, so that despite the fact that their numbers are still not increasing, their numbers are decreasing, they're still holding
Will
the
continue.
cards financially. Because in the most recent inauguration, for the very first time, think about it, multi-billion were the ones in the front row. So these are people who want to hold on to the financial levers and the political levers going forward while still being the minority.
Same, same, same. I used to work in a prison, and we were outnumbered, outgunned, the whole nine of it. Like we knew it was a corporation. You know what I'm saying? Like some people were daft enough to believe that it was the force and the presence or the fear of retaliation. No, I'm sure, and I believe yes, all of that was present. But I promise you, it was the cooperation of those incarcerated gentlemen and not so gentle, right?
Mhm,
So in for contrast, in other words, looking at this wonderful, awesome, great nation, the people cooperating have made it so. And I love what you shared because it's freaking true. And let's talk about whose hands and where them hands are. The church. So the
mhm.
damn thing about your religion or your Christianity or your belief in the Lord, because you ain't got one. Liar, 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 using tools, tools, tools to manipulate and control the people. What is the heaviest fear? If you're looking at numbers, talking about this as a Christian nation, on what day? Because it ain't on not one day that ends with the word day. Like, no, it ain't. No, it ain't by behavior. You can run your mouth and say so. You can write a paper and press, and you can find white after white person to bring to celebrity status and give him a microphone and call him preacher. Knock yourself out, which is done, and we see it done. And then even persons of color, same situation. Let's find one. Let's highlight them. Let's smear them across all the medias. Make them important. Give them a message, and then whose message? who, who
Mhm.
who meeting in the background saying what it's about to be, and the black churches that went along with it. Shame on you that you would sit and let Massa go have their meeting without you, and then call you over and tell you what you come tell your people when you do.
See,
That's
the thing that gets me that gets me about churches.
mm,
First of all, I'm committed to not to go to any church that doesn't you know doesn't resemble physically resemble, like, if you have this opulent, beautiful, gigantic church and it's plopped in the middle of a rundown community, okay, I have problems. I have
right.
problems.
Okay.
I have problems going to a church that has a building fund since it was created and ain't built nothing in the community yet. Okay,
Shots
I,
fired.
I have a problem going to a church and they make sure to make it a point to be there that Sunday because the local politician that's running is coming to speak. But
Ooh,
are they not a member? That's the only day that they have.
ooh. And all of them sons of Satan who set their parade and pressure their people to vote for a convicted felon, someone who literally paid, had to pay a woman he aggressed, and not just one woman. So you know he hurts women. You know he a slumlord. You know he racist. You know he will make friends to get his objectives met and not give a rat's crap about honoring his word, you know that he sit there and playing pretend with your life and putting folks in danger. You know he was down with building a wall, and you thought the wall was to keep people out, but it was to keep you in. Come on now. Like, at what point do we wake up and say enough? And here's the thing. Do I hate that man? Nope. I sure don't. I pray for him. Pray for him to repent. I pray for him to have changed hearts. I pray for him to see the error in his ways and turn about and do different, do better. Right? So,
Can I share something with you,
yeah,
partner?
of course.
Okay, because I was looking not only for the quote that I made earlier, but there was something else, another quote
Mm.
that came to mind, and I was able to find this second one, and I really, really think it's more poignant, um, especially for the times that we're living in and for the conversation we're having. And I actually have where it comes from. It's known as First They Came, and it's is the poetic form of a 1946 post-war confessional prose by
Ooh.
the German Lutheran pastor Martin Niemöller, and I'm maybe mangling his last name, uh, and it's about silent complicity. And I remember reading this for the first time in school, but it stayed with me, so I just wanted to pull it up. It's 4 lines. First, they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists,
Mm-hmm.
and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak
I
for me.
remember that. I remember that one, buddy. I remember that one loud and clear. Oh, I remember that one loud and clear. Tuh. Okay, so like I said, this is a call to action. This is a call to movement. This is a call to open your mouth and open up your throat and say what you need to say, and get involved. Because it's ridiculous around here by now. And what you just said was a beautiful pin, a beautiful button to end the conversation. Because we've been at this for about over an hour, and we can do better. So there's a couple of things I do want to share. Maybe on the lighter side of the world, lighter side of news. And I'm gonna say thank you for popping up, and thank you for sharing with me. I don't know how to put you downstairs, so I'm just gonna leave you right there.
Uh, I'm going to X out.
Oh, you know,
Thank
okay, you
uh,
know more. I know. Do that.
Not really, but I'm going to X out, and I'm going to go back to following you the way I was before the invite.
Okay,
And thank you for the invitation, and thank you for all that you're doing, partner.
absolutely. Like I'm like, we all gotta do something because you will not be able to sit back and point at Melikia K. Courtney and say, "Hey, listen, what did you do while the world was being set on fire and burning down?"
Mm,
All you gotta do is come chat with me, and I will be able to give an account. Because we will all be giving an account. You think you're not gonna give an account for your behavior? But you think
mm,
we're not? You know what I mean? There is a sovereign God. There is a sovereign divine God, and you will give an account for your behaviors. The good deeds done in the body, you will give an account, regardless of who you call your God. You will give an account. For those who do not call for any God that considers themselves atheists, you will stand in judgment of yourself. The sovereign divine God is going to stand in judgment of you too. So I don't know. Do better. If I could just summarize it to a word, do better. Get active. Get supporting the people who are fighting for you. Those delegates, those elected officials, those appointed officials who are fighting for you. Find out how to support them and encourage them and keep them lifted up in prayer and protected. Because it's that time. It's that time. And it's getting hotter and hotter. Yeah, come on in. The water's fine. Right?
mhm,
So thank you, Scott. I really do appreciate you. I appreciate your wisdom and what you've shared. And I love that you were fully aware and abreast with the news and the happenings around the world, as we all should be. You know what I mean? I shouldn't say should, as we all could be. I said that
mm.
could be. if we chose to be. And the things that matter to us matter to us. I understand that doesn't matter to everybody. And okay, but
Thank you.
it will.
Exactly.
Yeah, oh yeah, baby, it will. One way or another. It's gonna matter. It's gonna matter.
See you later.
Bye. Okay, so to wrap up the conversation, and what an awesome conversation it was. I appreciate your time. It was fun going live. This was kind of a heavy and sober conversation, and that's okay. I do plan to come back and do lives and get some playtime in and some laughs and some jokes. I am a poet as well, performance poet at that. A writer, an author, a speaker, have a podcast. If you would like to grow, you know what I mean, would like to grow in your idea and ideals and effectiveness, right? The podcast is SXP Metamorphosis 365. Again, SXP Metamorphosis 365. You guys hear the birds? So singy. I love it. Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go ahead and join me. I go live through Blast Music 247, 8 p.m. Tuesdays. And then also have my own channel, which I'm on right now. So please do follow, comment respectfully. Feel free to. And I will show you the same honor. And if I find that, as has happened with my podcast, some folks want to come on and say some negative, horrible things, I'm just going to delete it. And I may, if it's valid stuff, I'll answer it. If it's a question, respectfully, right? And at the same time, be respectful. So, playtime, as I mentioned earlier, blackout, open mic, Partners in Rhyme on the Clubhouse app, 8 p.m. Eastern, Friday, today, 8 p.m. Eastern, right? What else you need to know? I was asked to perform for a virtual event. Actually, it's virtual and in person, come to think of it. So, if you are in the Tampa area and you would like to participate in that, go ahead and I'll be working on my Instagram today. So, if you'd like to send me a DM over there, it's Santa's Helper, SANTAZHELPR. And I'll give you details on how to come in person. Other than that, virtually, you can go to http // night of sacred sounds.eventbrite.com. I had to read it in my mind's eye. Figure it. So that's exactly what it is. Go to Eventbrite and look for Night of Sacred Sounds. I'm gonna have to do some hunting because I went to look and I had to hunt for it real hard. But you can just copy that, get the URL, type it in, it'll take you right to it. Ticket event for VIP in person, I think it's $55 is what she has, and then for virtual it's $30, and the recordings are included. So it's gonna be a Night of Sacred Sounds. There's gonna be some praise and worship going on. That's what's up. And I can't use my body words, dude. So I am a performance poet, and I do a lot of singing, something like that. And I will be doing my thing. Next Thursday is 227. So 227-25 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pull up Bible Tribe. Follow the channel. Binge watch the podcast. Get to know me. Let me get to know you. I love meeting new people, and I don't care what color you are in. I don't give a crap about your skin. If you don't agree with what I agree with, I'm cool with the conversations. Just come respectfully. I literally facilitate wonderful conversations. And folks that don't necessarily agree or see eye to eye, that's okay. We don't all have to have the same friggin' mind. We can believe differently, but can we agree on everybody's doing their best, right? Can we agree that everybody wants to live? Can we agree that everybody deserves food and a place to live? Indoors if they choose indoors, right? Can we agree there? Can we agree that babies who are raped should not be forced to carry to term and give birth to a baby? They could kill them in the process. Can we agree on that? Where can we agree? So I would love to, I don't mind those conversations. Okay, great. I'm Melikia K. Courtney. I have said all I intend to say today. As soon as I figure out how to end this live, I'm going to do that. Bye, y'all.